So first of all, one of the follow-up questions I had was, do they own their own space? Do they have other trainers working for them? And they were saying they're making, and then how much is the business making? So they said they're making about $6K a month. No trainers working for them. And then they're renting space. So normally when you go to sell your business, especially at this level or anything under $1 million, you're really probably 99% of the time you're going to do an asset purchase agreement. So all you're really selling is all of your assets. So here you'd have no employees, no lease. All you really have is the revenue that your one-on-one clients, are bringing in. So you're not going to get a ton of money, for this. Because this is like not even looking at how much your overhead is. If you're paying $2,000 or $3,000 a month and you're only bringing home $3,000, that means you're only making about $35,000 or $36,000, a year. So you'd be lucky if somebody would pay you that, because there's no guarantee that your trainers are going to go with a new trainer anyway. So really, the short answer, and the one that you probably don't want to hear, is whatever somebody is willing to pay you, for your $6,000 a month worth of clients. And it's really going to come down to, how many clients sign a new agreement with that, with that trainer. If I were you, what I would try to do is some kind of profit share revenue split with a trainer and try to pass the trainers off to someone else. When I switched from doing one-on-one personal training to a bootcamp model, I was probably doing maybe $9,000 or $10,000 a month in personal training, and that's what I did. Is instead of giving all my clients to one trainer and then them paying me a flat fee for it, probably isn't going to work. What I did is I introduced my clients to different trainers, and I'd let them train them for like a week or two to and then I'd say I'm going on vacation, or I had to work at bootcamp that week because there was a little bit of overlap. And if I got good feedback from the client, then I would say, how about you just start training with so-and-so, ongoing, and I would just do a revenue share with that trainer, and I would take 40% and they would take 60%, and it would just be ongoing. That way, over time, I would get more money than if they were just to pay me that $30,000, up front, because I'd still be making $2,000, a month off the $6,000, which is great, because in 1 year, you're going to get the $24,000, next year $48,000, and it keeps going. Over time, it's going to keep going down because your trainers, some of the clients will quit with some of the trainers, but it's going to be hard to find any trainer that has $30,000 to just give you anyway, just for $6,000 worth of clients. And the other problem with this is that with the one-on-one model, I'm guessing, if the average is $500 a month, you have 12 clients. So if they lose 2 or 3, that's over 10, 15%, of the money anyway. So every client they lose, it's a big chunk that their revenue is going to go down. So it's going to be hard to sell this type of business. But you can always go to, like I mentioned before, Biz Equity, B-I-Z, equity.com. It's like $85, and you get a whole year. You can run as many business evaluations, and get an estimate of what it's worth through this software here at bizequity.com. Some of the things you want to look for is how much you want to build your business, to operate without you, to get the most money. You want to have your A team in place and running the business on their own. You want to have your own space with a good lease, because the lease is valuable. So if you negotiate a good lease, that can make $10,000, $20,000 more in a sale if you're saving them at least that much or more over 5 years. Because if you say you've been renting space for 3 or 4 years and the price has tripled, since then, and here in Orange County it has over the last 4 or 5 years, then and you're only your rent only growing at a certain percentage each year, you're probably at a really good deal. So being able to sell that lease to a new owner is going to be really valuable, because instead of paying $12,000 to $13,000 a month, they might only be paying $6,000 or $5,000. You're saving them $5,000 to $6,000 every single month just from your lease. So having a good lease is really going to increase the equity or the value of your business. But just to recap, if you have a $6,000 personal training business, the best thing to do is find 1, 2, or 3 trainers and just match your clients up with those trainers and do a profit share. And over time, you're probably going to get more than you will if you find one trainer that's just willing to give you, $30,000, $40,000, dollars for it, because most trainers just don't have that kind of cash laying around.